Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back for another episode of the Cavern Kings Let's Play. This is still Beta 24, and today I've decided we're going to do a little bit of arena, just to kind of hone my skills on the whole bobbing and weaving portion that is Cavern Kings, and it is a pretty substantial portion, honestly, so let's give it a shot. We're going to go with Yoji today. I almost wanted to say Yoji X because my crosshair was placed right next to Yoji's name, and a particularly funny spot. So he's a warrior from the east. Yoji is stronger with melee weapons and weaker with guns. That's okay, that'll give us another thing we can kind of hone our skills on, which is the ability to use primarily a melee weapon. In this case, the kinetic fist, which is a thing that I have some troubles with using anyway, so this is kind of a twofer then. Also, can I get up on this little ledge? I would really like for that to be yeah, I totally can. Alright, cool. So we'll try and stay up here whenever we need to, and let these guys all group together, or even just let them fall into this pit, because this actually seems like a great way to min-max the game. Yep. Yeah, this is tough. Let them go. Alright. I can get behind that whole concept. So I've already found a way to break arena mode, potentially, although I'm sure I'll get overwhelmed up here soon enough. Once the enemies start trickling in from other directions. And apparently I'm still strong enough that being able to use the nail gun works out just fine. And it still kills stuff, so that's good. I'm not really sure if I'm even supposed to be able to get up here. I mean, I know that I have a double jump with this character and then a third jump with kinetic fist, so that kind of makes me able to do things I might not normally have access to. And if that's the case, then, you know, hopefully no harm done. We're just kind of messing around here. Well, I'm sure we'll try a few different characters. And there's still also the fact that I don't know exactly when and where character or item drops are going to happen. They might come to me, they might fall in that pit and be gone forever. I'm not entirely sure, but I could be sabotaging my own run, actually, by being up here, and I guess we'll find out. And if this run goes particularly south rather quickly, I will just go ahead and start up another one with a different character. People have told me my main character, Jack, is kind of garbage. I don't know, I think he's fine. Really? Twice? Twice that thing just kind of bounced right up over the ceiling? That's not very cool. That is actually kind of a problem, actually, if power-ups can end up totally up in the ceiling for whatever reason. If maybe poison damage kills a worm in a place where you can't reach it, you know, that could be an issue for us, I'd say. Also, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should start popping on down here, just because I'm going to need to get some health drops soon, otherwise I'm not going to last too much longer, since we don't have the ability to really, you know, get any more health other than whenever it drops arbitrarily. It's not like we're going to be finding chests or crates or things like that. Those are not really a factor in arena mode. And occasionally I'm just going to have to fall on top of some enemies, so health is definitely a variable that I have very little control over right now, other than just not getting hit as much as possible. One would hope that, like, leveling might give me the ability to get a little bit more HP, but it's not, and I'm dead. Alright, so we managed to get through 2.5 minutes-ish. Not fantastic, although I do feel like that strategy could have worked pretty well. What's this guy do again? When top half falls in battle, you resurrect himself as a weaker version, right? Okay, and not much is known about this extraterrestrial spacesuit renders and immune to effects of weather and allows us to jump higher. Let's try Alium this time and see what that does. So we've got jackhammer and nail gun. Hurts about as bad as a bee sting. Yeah, maybe a little bit less so. I can actually jump quite high. This is just a little shy of being able to get me up onto that ledge, so I guess we're not going to be able to cheese things quite as well in this particular instance. But if I had the kinetic fist, I'm sure I could do that again. Oh, we've got an early missile expansion drop. That's good news. Man, these guys really do swarm this platform. Really does kind of seem like sticking up on that top area might be a very good idea. You know, when you have the ability to anyway. And that does not kill those fast enough to really be all that useful, as much as I hate to say it. I mean, there's only so many places you can dodge. We've got projectiles coming in, we're surrounded by enemies, and we don't have necessarily the ability to always clear the enemies from directly beneath us before we land. So I know you're probably saying I could use my kinetic fist to stay up in the air longer, or my jackhammer to hover a bit more, and you're right. But also, there's only so many places I can even land, and especially when everything is a moving target, you know, there's always a little bit of variability with that whole thing. So, you know, I'm trying my best, but this is not a great run so far. Yeah, that takes too long to kill any of those. See, this is why I want the distance. Staying right up in their faces to do almost no more damage, from what I can tell, doesn't seem like a good plan for me in terms of my survivability. Oh no. Oh, Phoenix Pinion, that's actually a huge drop for this floor, but I'm already dead. So actually, never mind. It really doesn't matter at all. Alright, that was a terrible run. Let's try again. We could do Thorax for a little bit of extra health. Damage weighs him down, yeah. Or protects him from damage. Yeah, let's just give it a shot. Does everybody have a triple jump? It kind of does feel like that, doesn't it? So we can actually hang out up here and just drop saw blades down and hope that our recoil doesn't knock us off this platform. Soon the eye guys will start showing up from the right, and oh, we got rock bros already. Only just begun, haven't we? Surprised to see them here already. Yeah, just dive right in. Give me some level ups, please. Watch out for these dudes from the other side. Would like to prevent standing on top of enemies as much as possible, although that can be a little bit on the difficult side sometimes. Also, the fact that those projectiles just go through everything makes it a little tricky, because there's nowhere to hide. They can shoot you from anywhere, and I can't shoot them from anywhere. Doesn't feel quite that balanced to me, although it's probably fine. I'm just exaggerating. So we'll continue cheesing it for a second here. I don't see a lot of dudes showing up, though, which is making me worry a little bit. I'm kind of wondering, actually, about what determines the spawn rates for these guys, because it seems like it's a little bit arbitrary what I end up with at the beginning. Sometimes we get a pile of eye guys, sometimes we get rock bros and exploding eye turret dudes. It's could be a little problematic for us. I really liked when we got that whole pile of eye dudes just jumping into the drill and giving me free level ups. Also, it'd be pretty sweet if every so often, like every 2 minutes or something, or, you know, maybe it scales as you play more, you get to go on a trip to the shop or something and just pick up a weapon or two from a selection that you might have presented to you. Maybe all the action stops and stuff will appear on the board and you get to select one of 3 things, just to sort of give yourself that little boost in case the game is not doing that for you, because right now you're completely at the mercy of the RNG gods, which, you know, aren't always the most benevolent, I've noticed. So far we've got 2 items, one of which is more helpful than the other. And, oh, that one, which one is it? Oh, we've got a black hole box and a piercing oculus, so that reduces armor on melee. I don't really use a lot of my melee, which again was one of the things I wanted to correct here, but I'm finding it to be sort of a bad idea, considering when I push forward through a bunch of enemies, I'm not really going to find myself in a more controllable position. As you can see, when I push forward, I'm basically just throwing myself into some other pile of enemies, which doesn't really help me a whole lot. And the speed that I can clear things from the left does not really necessarily mean I can clear things from the right at the same time. Although, doing this, I guess, kind of helps a little bit, doesn't it? I could really use some health. Well, did I get a tiny little bit from leveling? Maybe it just increases with the amount of extra HP I got from that level up. Looked like I got a little bit, but I'm not sure quite how much. It's hard to keep talking and also looking down at my health numbers. And there's a little bit of health that I already squandered a second after I picked it up. Sometimes just putting yourself in that vulnerable position. Oh god, what is that? I unlocked like 2 things at the same time, and it looked like I couldn't see either of them properly. Something screwdriver, I think I saw. But that's something new. I don't think I've heard of that before. And that was the other reason I wanted to play Arena Mode, is somebody told me that I can unlock things here, which I'm pretty keen on. So an extra Toxic Flask never hurt. Throw that into the mix for sure. And really, all I really want is to Zig-a-Zig-ah and also unlock the regeneration ability, because that has not come up yet, and it would be really helpful to me to be able to not be always losing health and never regaining it. Okay, champion dropped another piercing oculus. Again, really am not using melee attacks as often as I should be. We're at level 10 now, that's not terrible, and I am one-shotting worms, it looks like, so that's good. At least if I hit them in the face, that is. 2-shotting those. Oh, what are you? Scarab. Killing enemies increases max health. Okay, that's something anyway. Not drastically or anything, don't get the wrong idea here. Oh, there's some health. Alright, let's see if we can hang in there. I would love to get like a Risk of Rain style, a little bit of spiraling going on right now. Oh, that's a lot of items there. We got a Cluster of Iron, Jin Zephyrhorn, and Siren Harp, and died as I was reading the text boxes. I'm just gonna have to start ignoring that stuff, aren't I? Well, that was probably the most successful so far. Our Scarab Beetle friend here seems to be able to be capable of doing some damage. I'm gonna do one more run. before we wrap up. So we got the harpoon rifle and the shovel, which I think may very well be the best configuration of items for arena mode that I could think of anyway. Because right now, it's basically, it functions as a railgun. I can shoot everybody at the same time in this platform because they're all going to be sitting here lining up for me. And what more could you ask for than that? I hope that guy didn't just drop a power-up. Oh god, I almost just dropped myself off the edge there. That's a quick run ender if you didn't know. You gotta watch that recoil if you find yourself in that position where that's a factor for you. I got a little bit of health dropped over there, but I actually don't need it for once. So yeah, I'm hoping that we don't end up having some power-ups drop up towards the ceiling, because I'm not going to be able to reach them necessarily. At least not right now. Maybe if I end up with a couple of jump-ups or something like that, we might be able to put them to better use. So now the biggest liability I have when it comes to this weapon is when I shoot one shot of this... Oh, there we go. There's some jump up for me. When I shoot a shot of this, though, the recoil is actually going to push me backward. And if there's enemies behind me, well, I might end up knocking myself into trouble. And nobody wants that, of course. Or, again, dropping myself into the spike pit, which is the worst fate, of course, out of all of them. So we'll do our best to avoid all of that. Completely avoiding using my shovel right now, and I know that's probably bad, kiddies, but, again... Oh, I really feel like using the harpoon gun seems like the superior way to defend myself. But maybe if I do get some of that, the armor destroying thing, the piercing oculus, that actually might be a time when I'd use it now. Because the knockback on the shovel is not too bad, if at all. There's like a tiny bit of knockback on it. It's a lot less than the harpoon gun, though. And this is actually fine. Let's get the black hole box for some extra magnetic power, and let's try and stay out of this pile of trouble right now. Oh, let's get over there. Oh, God. Everything's right below me! How am I supposed to deal with that? They get right underneath me, and then I can't really fight them because they're right there, and by the time I need to fall in the spot I'm falling on, that they've all collected themselves into a pile to do all of the HP damage all at the same time. Oh, see, there's the thing I was hoping for. Grab that. Grab that. Oh, God. Get me out of there. I actually tried to use the recoil to my own benefit that time, which is a thing I'm not so good at this point. That is a lot of dudes. Thankfully, they mostly die in one hit. Oh, God. This is going to be my end. Yeah. There was nowhere for me to land there. Oh, I need the ability to just straight up fly, I guess, for some of this stuff to work out. Well, on the upside, we did at least unlock maybe one or two things. I don't know. It kind of appeared at the same time there, so I'm not really sure what happened. But that was some arena runs for you. Hopefully, you're still enjoying the potential progression that we could have through Cavern Kings Beta 24. I will be back for some more episodes, probably the standard kind of single-player campaign missions, and I hope, well, missions is kind of a strange way to put it, but you know, the standard digging down through endless floors and all of that, and hopefully we'll have some more really good runs, and hopefully we'll unlock more characters and items and be able to see the full breadth of what this beta has in store for us, and things should be still ticking along in terms of development, and I'm looking forward to perhaps a new update at some point. And I'll be sure to let you know if I find out anything new. So thanks again for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the episode, consider leaving a like on it. And I will see you back for another one real soon. Have a great night, everybody.